Well, first, thank you for taking the time to
Yes,
talk to us
we're
today.
both
We
very
really,
excited.
Yeah, we're huge fans.
We're
So
both really big fans.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So first, you visited Jeff Ruby's Steakhouse in May, just days after your Met Gala debut. And then you went to the Kentucky Derby, performed at the 60th Annual Academy of
Busy
Country Music
week.
Awards.
Busy
very
week.
busy week.
Yeah, I don't even remember that.
But what brought you to Cincinnati that week with everything else going on?
I don't even remember. I've been here a couple of times. I've been here probably
I
like about
think this
four.
is your fourth time.
Maybe four. Yeah, I think I've probably been here the most out of any city.
Oh, wow.
Honestly, as far as like work goes or playing shows. I mean, I came here once with Russell Dickerson when he had me on the tour. I came here another time for Jelly Roll, I think.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
we went to a Bengals game.
Yeah.
And I came here another time for something else. And I came here, it's about 4 or 5 times. So I couldn't even recall what time that was for. But Kentucky Derby was super fun. It's like one of the highlights of, honestly, this year.
Yeah.
Was being a part of that.
Do you remember what you ate at Jeff Ruby's? What you ordered?
I don't even know. I don't know if I went to Jeff. Did I go to Jeff? I don't know.
Maybe it was one of his other steakhouses. I know we have a.
It was a steakhouse. I went there for my birthday, and they made me the chef made me like a custom boot cake.
Yeah.
And they do like the Nike shoe.
Yeah.
But he
The
made
Air
me a
Jordan
really
one.
cool. Yeah, the Jordan. But
Yeah.
he made me a boot. It was
Oh,
really
nice.
cool. Yeah, it was really sick. Really
Nice.
awesome. It was delicious too.
Oh.
I don't even remember the name.
That would be Jeff.
Steakhouse?
That would be Jeff Ruby's. That's their thing.
don't know
It might have
about
been
Jeff
Carlo
Ruby's.
and John. He has a couple steakhouses.
Yeah, Cincinnati's got a bunch of. You guys aren't short on steakhouses.
Yeah, and he owns several. Of them, so. But yeah, you said you've been here a lot. I know we both saw you at Forbes. I saw you open for Jelly Roll. What stands out about the city, do you think?
I think it's really cool. It's like kind of the East Coast, but still the Midwest. I mean, what do you consider Ohio? Is it East Coast?
It's Midwest, but
Yeah.
we consider Cincinnati like kind of not Ohio though.
Yeah, it's just a really cool culture, man. I think the Skyline Chili is the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I haven't had it yet,
Oh.
but it's a fun cool place, and there's a lot of great places to eat, a lot of good music, a lot of cool bars. Cincinnati is one of the fun places in my book.
Yeah. Well, either this time or next time you'll have to try Skyline.
Yeah.
People always like to know what people think.
Y'all don't have it here?
They have Gold Star here, I
Gold
think,
Star.
which is the second most popular.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So kind of a little bit more about the music. So how do you feel about the growing visibility of Black artists in country music?
It's cool. I mean, I still think there's a lot more room. I think music shouldn't really be conditioned to what someone looks like. It's about what's the story, the authenticity, the connection it has with, artists as well. And I really feel like I think a lot more people should not be afraid to create from that genre. I think it's definitely a genre of music where I think the public perception is that it's not really open to a lot of new faces. But, I always say this, man, it's beautiful to see Luke Bryan grew up in the same place that Quavo grew up there. What makes that person country and that not? We're all country. We all have roots in the South, and and love storytelling. So I just think people just need to be less afraid of exploring the genre. And I think they'll be, Black artists. I think they'll be really surprised with, how much, how the space is pretty inviting and pretty family oriented, I'll say that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I think the genre has evolved a lot
for sure.
even over the past couple years.
Yeah, shout out Cassius Culpepper. It's really sick. Kevin Smiley out there, Tanner, everybody is yeah.
Yeah. You obviously have a unique sound. What what artist and music influenced you when you were growing up?
Man, I think everything. I think I was pretty ADD, so you know what I mean? I'm a jumper, you know what I mean? I can jump from from Future to Johnny Cash, and then from Johnny Cash to Gregory Alan Issakoff, and I'll jump to Woody Guthrie, and then I'll go to Ken Carson. You know what I mean? It'll kind of go all over the place, you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe it's my brain or something, but I don't know. I just love music. I think inspired me growing up. Whatever I heard, but I think, country music for me, it kind of just came. I didn't really know what I was making or what I was doing. I think it came from really just being from Virginia and observing my surroundings and just wanting to make music that was authentic to, my experience, which was kind of being in a small town where, where you kind of just work hard, you go home, and you know what I mean? It's kind of a repeated cycle of that. So you got to find value in the small things, you know what I mean?
Yeah. We're both from small towns, so we
kind of
get
gotta
it.
find value in the little things, and I think
Yeah.
that's kind of where that appreciation is where I decided to create from. Like that was my perspective that I wanted to make music from, you know. So and then I was like, oh, okay, other people talk about their small towns too, right?
So you collaborated with Beyoncé on Cowboy Carter. So how did that experience impact you? What did you learn from working with her?
I mean, honestly, she's a god. You know what I mean? Just always, seeing like someone at that level still kind of giving it their all, putting on a hell of a show, but also she's just like very warm and inviting and very welcoming, it's like family to me, honestly. But it was awesome, she's a legend. We grew up listening to her on the radio all the time. So to see like that, you got to put the work in. You know what I mean? No one does the work for you. You know what I mean? That's like my biggest thing from taking it. It's like she's recording them songs, she's writing on them songs, she's arranging them songs, she's putting that show together. She's like, it's her doing it. It's not like, you know what I mean? It's not something that's just handed off to people. So that was inspiring to see that you got to work. It's on you. So
is that kind of what keeps you grounded, that hard work? Because obviously it's been a very big year for you, and you've been making music for a while, but you've really blown up this past year. So what keeps you grounded with all this popularity?
I think just being older. I moved from Virginia when I was like 20. You know what I mean? And I had like kind of like a lot of ups and downs and a lot of like moments where I had to kind of do some self-reflection and be like, man, like you have an opportunity and a gift here, and it's like, there's been times where it was like, no one was checking for anything. Or like it was hard to, get meal. You know what I mean? It's hard to do anything. I couldn't even afford a haircut. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think just like that level of understanding that, it's a privilege, and I'm just grateful to every day be able to do this and have people out there that, as far as like not giving up on the dream, and it showing that, man, it is true. Like, don't give up, and there's something on the other side.
For sure.
So, in addition to like Beyoncé, you've also worked with like Nigerian artists like Burna Boy and Wizkid, and like on Burna Boy's most recent song, "Change Your Mind." So, like, could you tell me more about like what inspired that song and how you were able to blend those two very different sounds?
Yeah, man, that's my that's my brother. So I think I've always been like a fan. I was actually visiting Nigeria once, like when he was kind of like first coming up, and it was like kind of like a similar thing. Like everyone couldn't stop talking about who this who this like anomaly was, and to see how far he's kind of taken it, was really cool. To feel like, I feel like to some degree, like I inspired that. He definitely always tells me how much, how incredible what I'm doing is. Being like a Nigerian American artist or African American artist in country music. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not something you see every day. So I think that kind of inspired him. He wanted to do something that kind of mixed both the worlds, and he had an idea for a song, and I trusted him, and and we put it out. So yeah.